And we are live, folks. Welcome to the Sit Down Standard, the podcast celebrating all the amazing things you can do while sitting, whether it's enjoying movies, watching television, or playing games. I'm one of your hosts, David Bray. I'm joined, as always, by the man who survived Prime Amazon Day, or Amazon Prime Day.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I have something here. But yes, I'm Gerald.
Gerald Bales.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm here, David.
Did you, speaking of Amazon Prime Day, you said you bought something.
I do. If you were watching our YouTube, yes, we are on YouTube. Check us out. You would see the props I have here. I can't really show you this on audio. Oh, wait.
There you go.
I banged against the mic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did buy something.
So we'll go over that. We've got a lot of stuff. We've got a good show here. We've got a lot of good stuff to cover. I'm sure me and Gerald are going to get in a fight on this episode. I'm excited.
Polarizing opinions here, David. I'm excited.
Cool. But as always, if you are listening to the audio version, like Gerald said, go to YouTube, youtube.com/sitdownstandard. You can see all of our beautiful videos there.
You can see our shirts.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a Hearthstone shirt. David's wearing a shirt that I created.
Yeah, you made this. Yeah, very cool. As well as if you are listening to the audio version, go to iTunes, give us a review, 5 stars, please. Write some interesting comments.
Nice comments, yeah.
Or you can go on SoundCloud. I'm going to call it SoundCloud from now on. SoundCloud or Stitcher Radio. You can find all that good stuff. But just come to YouTube.
Google Play. Mike pointed out to me that yes, it does work.
One of our viewers did, in fact, check it out and make sure it is on Google Play. Yes. So it has been confirmed. But before we start any episode, let's start with the same thing we start oh my God, I am just
about every episode.
Just about every episode. Oh, what you doing? Oh, what you doing? What you doing? Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. We'll
all right, how long is this going to last, man?
Right. I was going...
2 years from now, it's going to be like a 10-minute intro, you just like making noises.
Yeah, exactly. So, Jared, what you doing? Actually, you know what? I know what you're doing.
All right, a lot of Pokemon going, David. A lot of Poke going.
Is that what they're calling it? Poke hunting?
No, it's Pokemon going. Is that what you called it, right?
Pokemango.
Yeah, a lot of that. Pretty much that and making an anniversary gift. That's pretty much it this week.
Right. So tell me about this. You clearly, Amazon Prime Day was this week.
So I have this gigantic
that thing's like
22,000 milliamp battery. I can charge my phone 6 times over with this battery.
You'll need it.
And it has an LED light.
Oh,
apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
But so, yeah, it's got 3 ports on it. But yeah, it's after we went to Caesar's Palace twice this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a park once. Just wife and I. My wife is playing, which is amazing.
That's how you know it's...
Never in a million years did I ever think my wife would be playing a Pokemon game.
Now, see, are you doing that thing where she like names a Pokemon and you're like, no, babe, it's called this and it has this power?
No.
Okay.
And for one, guys, I did not even ask her to download this. She just did it on her own, which is amazing.
It's a phenomenon. It's
insane. Nintendo stock is up 98% since the game came out. It's insane in the memory.
Now, Google, what's the name?
Niantic Labs.
They're partially owned by Google, or they're using Google
by Alphabet? Yes.
Well, stop it. You know what I mean. Alphabet.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
So they're rocking it as well, too, right? So they're doing really well.
Niantic Labs, but I don't think Niantic Labs is a public company.
Okay. Right. But I'm saying Google is Alphabet or whatever is doing well as well.
Right.
So what? Okay, for me, I like the game. I think it's cool. I think it's clearly like it's the first attempt. There needs to be more.
Oh yeah, you could definitely see the underpinnings of a great game. It's not even like honestly the game itself isn't that good.
No.
But oh my God, I gotta catch the next one. I gotta level up, and then obviously everyone else is playing it. So your friends are sending you screenshots like, oh, here's my guy's rated by CP. You're like, oh my God, that's so high. I gotta get my guy.
Yeah.
So there's a competition there. Everyone and their freaking mom is playing this game.
That's the part. It's the feeling of everybody's doing it, and like no matter where you go, you literally walk around now. Like we were at the mall the other day, and I was like, "They're playing Pokemon. They're playing Pokemon."
We went to a park down the street, which is find a park that has at least like 10 Pokestops, and you just walk around for like hours.
Like every park and recreation, and like all over the country is like, we have attendance through the roof. What's going
on? It's crazy. No, but we were there, and there's at least 10 Pokestops there and one gym, and yeah, everyone's there. And this was I think we went on Wednesday.
Yeah,
it's the middle of the week. Everybody's there playing. I think it's the first time ever since I've got an Apple Watch where I beat my calorie goal every day this week.
All of a sudden spiked as soon as...
Exactly. So it's getting my fat ass off the couch, which is great.
So, see, I was having a discussion with some colleagues and stuff like that, and they were just like... millions and millions of people are playing this game. The only thing and they're older, and they were like, I heard that people are getting robbed and people are falling off cliffs and dying from this game.
They would be correct.
Well, I'm like, yeah, that's like 1 or 2 people, but I mean, like if you're not watching where you're going, like
it's the headlines,
No, I know, but
someone got stabbed in Anaheim the other day.
It's like, yeah, but that's just, I mean, Craigslist is the same thing, right? Like Craigslist is a really cool thing, but like, yeah, people use it to rob people.
Yeah, there are definitely some nefarious things. But honestly, if you're playing Pokemon Go, just be careful. Don't go to lured Pokestops in the middle of a dark alleyway. Like, don't be dumb.
Well,
Our plans go with friends if you're gonna like go out late at night.
And who creates the stops? Is it you said it
The
was
stops are community sourced from the previous game from that. Actually, it still is a game called Ingress.
Yeah, I know that part. But
Yeah.
is there a way to add stops at this point, or is it kind of locked in?
No, they stopped accepting new user submissions last year because they've had like millions of submissions for stops.
Is it called Egress?
Ingress.
Ingress, okay.
But they had to stop because there's just too many.
Right, because some of them, I mean, most of them make sense, but there's a couple that are, especially here in Vegas, you can imagine, there's a couple adult-themed places that actually are Pokestops.
Did you see the picture I posted? There's the Erotic Heritage Museum
It's like...
at Deja Vu.
I know, it's just like,
There's
why
one
is
there.
this a Pokestop? I mean, I get it, it's community sourced, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever, but... I also wanted to ask a question about, because I've been reading a bunch of stuff, like there's a bunch of people who are now hacking it. There was like some kind of way to hack the system.
You can use GPS and spoofs and stuff, mainly on Android phones, but you can do it on jailbroken phones.
I just seen
If
people...
you get caught, you're going to get banned, though. So
See? You're not being the
But
best
it's like
there ever
the point
was.
of the game is to go out.
Well, that's
so
the-
go out.
Well, that's the same point with any kind of online game. You know, it's like the cave thing and stupid. What was the game? Destiny.
Oh,
You know,
sure, the
like
cave.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm coming to play the game, and you're like, oh, come to this cave and shoot at this over 3
2
hours,
hours,
so
yeah.
we can get. And I'm like, this is stupid. But I get it. It's just trying to break the game. But but in this case, are certain Pokemon? I always feel like I'm saying it. Is it Pokemon?
I think it's Pokemon, yeah.
It's Pokemon. That's
Sure.
what I said. The other day someone said Pokemon, and I was like, I don't,
Pokemans.
that's why I was like, I think you're clearly not
Pokemans.
Yeah, exactly. So, are the Pokemon, are they specific to the area of the world or the area of the state or the like?
See,
do we
honestly-
get lots of desert Pokemon because we're in,
I get a lot of Ekans, which are snakes, so I get those
same
jerks
here.
everywhere. But honestly, there's a lot of like base Pokemon that I'm sure you'd get everywhere. So like Zubats, Pidgeys, Rattatas.
I can catch Zubats like nobody's business, man. They should call me the Zubat Whisperer. We were at the grocery store and I was like freaking out. I was like, babe, we got to go to the frozen section. I swear to God, there's a Zubat in there, and I'm only 13 candies away from leveling them up, and I don't even know. And here's the thing: these games are learning so much from other like Candy Crush and even like stuff like Overwatch. It's the animation of like them evolving is so like.
That's how it was in the old games. It's
No,
the same music.
I know, but it's just like they've mastered it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's and is there certain Pokemon that come out during the day? Because I see that the street colors change when it's day versus night.
I don't think that is honestly. I don't know 100%. I don't know, but
You
I
should
don't.
know.
I don't think so. And the higher level you are, the higher CP and the more you'll find evolutions or
That
evolved
makes
Pokemon
sense,
start
yeah.
popping up and stuff. But in terms of like located areas, they populate more in populated areas with real people. So like for example, we were at the DMV today. More on that later. I just loaded up the app while I'm waiting for
man.
Sarah to finish her stuff. 5 popped up immediately. I was like, holy crap.
The only thing to make the DMV interesting is Pokemon Go.
Walmarts,
Yeah.
places with a lot of population
Yeah, exactly.
are good places to catch just Pokemon. And then obviously more centralized locations like parks and stuff, you're going to get more of the stops and gyms.
But overall, you're enjoying it. You're having fun.
I love it. It gets me out of the house,
You're right.
which is great. I work from home, so that's great.
Yeah.
It's addicting. It's the first gen, which like I grew up with, so it's all my favorite. I know all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said, it's that sweet spot because we were at a restaurant today and I was playing. And the waiter came up and he's like, "Oh man, you like Pokemon Go?" And I was like, first of all, I was like, "How old do you think I am, asshole?" And then I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, because older people it's kind of And I was like, "You're not. Stop digging up. Like you can't dig up. You're not helping." He was trying to because I think he kind of picked on like, "Yeah, I'm not that old. I'm
this
only
game came out
31."
20 years ago.
No, I know. And so I was
it's
like,
at the point where it
yeah,
spans
I was like 97
generations.
was when Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
I was pretty young. I mean, sort of. Anyways, he was talking about, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to California and I'm hoping I'm going to go by the beach and pick up all the water Pokemon." And I was like, wait, is it really like that?
Oh yeah, it is.
That's
Bodies
so,
of water,
like,
you'll get more water types and stuff. Yep.
that's so cool.
Isn't it?
And see, the only thing that this is, it's like, it feels like, because I played a little bit of like the Pokemon Red and Blue and stuff like that, and it's half of the game. Half of the game is catching them, half of the game is battling. And yes, you can go to a gym and you can battle, but I've heard it's just a button smash. Pretty much tap the crap out of your phone. And that needs to be refined. And then it also just needs to, and here's the thing, I think it has it's better than most mobile games because I think of the IP and because of the phenomenon that's around
yeah.
it, but that's gonna have to at some point wear off, and then you're left with mechanics and maybe the IP. So they're gonna.
I think they've already said their next thing that they want to do is trading between people.
That's where it takes off.
That's where it's going to.
But
it already has taken off. But that's where
I'm also worried that
stick around.
I'm also worried that this turns into like, with all the controversy that's going on with CS:GO, the Lotto stuff, and if there's some kind of, because I already think the microtransactions for $100 is like a little ridiculous. And like
$10. I got $10 poker coins.
That's fine, and that's the thing.
I've gotten $10.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why mobile games always get a bad rep because it's like, how much did you spend on the game? $5? Like, yeah, I played it for like 60 hours, so yeah, it was a pretty good deal. But people are like, I can't believe you paid for that.
For that free app, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's my point. But that's beside the point. But I'm just saying, it's just weird when I scroll down and it's like $100 from, like, I'm like, oh my God, like this is.
And
tons of people have, right?
Yeah, they say if it's at the top grossing list, obviously they haven't released official numbers, but they're going to be making at least over $1 million a day.
Well, the one thing I heard was, I don't know if it's because of the infrastructure and the servers that are having to be built and just generally the maintenance of, because it's everywhere. Like literally, it's a game you can play everywhere that affects everywhere you are.
It just came out in 26 more countries today, and the servers were down probably until about 11 a.m. Pacific.
Right, and I think the issue there is that obviously this, it's a good and a bad problem, right? You have this insane demand right now, which is fantastic, but they don't probably need to, because they know at some point that's going to fall off.
Yeah, they know people are going to play it because they heard it on the news.
Right.
They're going to play it for a few days and get done with it. So that's why they've done. A lot of people complained to Niantic Labs like, you knew this game was going to be a hit. Why didn't you just create
it's not
a
gonna be that
super
big
server
forever,
infrastructure?
yeah.
Servers are expensive, people. All that infrastructure is money, and it's very expensive. So they're going to start off at a good point, and as they add more countries, then they'll add more servers and all that kind of stuff till it balances out, and then they'll start releasing new features.
There's experts. I'm sure they didn't see.
There's no way they could have predicted this.
No, because this is insane. Like the amount of people who are playing it and are. Like, it's all over YouTube. Like, every vlogger is talking about it.
There's streams. I've seen Twitch streams, which has got to be annoying to set up.
Yeah.
Hope you have unlimited data.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing I was thinking. I'm sure, like, the cell phone companies are loving it.
Yeah.
Like,
or hating it, depending on the traffic on the towers in certain areas.
Yeah, but a lot of now the companies, you don't have unlimited data, quote unquote. Yeah. So, for me, I think it's a fun thing to do. It's kind of like, oh yeah, Pokemon Go for me. It's not like at the front of my mind, but when I'm like, cause I'm downtown a lot for court and stuff like that for cases. And I'm always like, oh yeah, I'm downtown. I should look around.
Up see if I have spots. Hold on, Judge. There's a spot right here. There's a lure on it. Let me catch this pitch real quick.
No, but it's very, I'm not saying this in a negative connotation, but it's very, childlike and like it's fun and it's
simple.
It's superfluous. Like it's almost a microcosm of like you're capturing and trying to collect things that you know what I mean? It's something about that makes it so much. It makes you feel like a kid, and everybody is a kid. Like I think that's why Pokemon is so popular, and like a lot of collectible stuff is popular, is because people like collecting stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
look behind me. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. And then it's got a good just punch for every time you capture one. And sometimes they pop out of the ball and you go, oh crap. But I actually enjoy taking the stupid photos. Like I'm always like, Alyssa, my wife, when I have
look, there's a Zubat in the water.
Like, oh, look, take a funny photo and send it to Gerald. I loved it. That's what I enjoy out of it.
To me, it's the competition with my friends. Like, we have a Pokemon Slack channel at work. They all like time their breaks. Like, there's an Onyx across the street, guys. Let's go get it real quick.
See, but that's the part that I think I can't remember something this popular so quickly and so enveloping of everybody I know. Like literally Facebook, every time I open it up, every time I go on YouTube, it's something about Pokemon Go. Now, some people are frustrated by that, but I think it's because they're not playing it.
We were at the park, and while we were walking around like with everybody else looking at their phones because they're getting stops or catching Pokemon or whatever, this older couple was walking their dog like, oh, everyone's looking at their phones. I'm like, hey, I didn't say anything. Hey guy, they got us out of the house, all right? Baby steps.
Right, and that's the part, like, I was talking...
We'll all be wearing Microsoft HoloLens.
Right, at some point.
And then now we don't have to be looking at our phones.
Well, see, when I was talking, like I said, some colleagues I was talking to, they were kind of poo-pooing it, which was kind of... I was like... They were like, if a video game is the only reason you can hang out with your family and friends, then shame on you. I was like, wow. Like, yeah. That's, I thought that I was like... Clearly you haven't played it, and it's so much fun. Like, it's just silly fun. I think that's the part of it. It's so superfluous, it's so silly that it makes you feel like a kid again. Even if you... And I really wasn't into Pokemon, to be perfectly honest. Like, I watched the cartoon when it was on, but I wasn't... I wasn't...
Like me.
Yeah, I wasn't on my top 5 cartoons as a kid. But I clearly know the draw. I had other things. I collected Thundercats and Ninja Turtle. It's the same stupid thing. And then just they're like, well, you should read a book. I'm like, do you play any mobile game? Everybody plays games on their phone. And that's the Trojan horse of all of this, right? Is the idea that everybody technically is playing a video game.
Yep.
And I'm like, this makes it more ubiquitous with video gaming, and it shows, hey, if you have the proper IP, you have the proper, because honestly, it's not that great of a game. I mean, it's solid.
Like, there's core elements like catching Pokemon. It's luck a lot of the time, especially when you get to the higher levels. The gym battling stuff, like you said, you're just tapping the screen as quickly as you can because that's the best way to attack. All that stuff is real basic, and I'm sure they're going to roll out more advanced features. It's just right now.
But I think that's why it is popular, is because you can pick it up and it's so simple. Like I was singing, like when you twirl the Pokeball, it like does like stars, and if you throw it, it'll like. Did you see this?
Yeah, you can curve the Pokeball.
Yeah, I was like, does that add anything? Does that add like more capture rate?
You get more XP.
Oh, and this is the other thing. They don't hold your hand really in this game, like, which is kind of weird for like a.
Well, the Pokemon Go subreddit, they'll tell you.
I know. There's like everything I see is like 9 tips to Pokemon Go.
So like Eevee evolves into 3 different Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon.
Did not. You don't even know. Don't even know that. I have an Eevee.
People thought like it's random.
Yeah.
Which one they evolve into in the game? You have to give them a certain stone, David.
Oh God.
But anyway, in Pokemon Go, it's like, how do they do it? Someone figured out where if you name them a specific name, they'll evolve into that next one, and that name is based off of a comic that had 3 brothers that had a Flareon.
Oh, so there's...
Like it's meta, but...
Oh, that's cool. See, that's what I enjoy. I like when the creators, mess around.
To me, it's just like like I said, my wife's getting it. We're doing it together. That's great.
Yeah.
We went today with my brother and mother-in-law and sister-in-law, and we were just out downtown Summerlin walking around. You see, they got stopped by a mom and their kid, just asking about it, and they're playing together. Like families are playing together. Like it's great.
Right, and that's the cool thing. It's just an opportunity to get out of the house and go do something together, and that's great. And even if it's not like crazy amount of contact talking and things like that. It's just, we're doing this together and it's fun and it makes us, we're collecting stuff together and like, we'll talk about it like, oh, what did you get? I was over there and I caught this. And it's like, so it's great. I can't recommend it enough. It's free. Just at least try it out.
Oh, definitely.
I think the first moment when you turn it on and you see the GPS and the map, you're like, whoa, this actually is like the real world, video game on top of the real world.
And it's weird because there's been a lot of, obviously Ingress is what this is built on, which is almost the same exact games. There's geocaching. Geocaching's been around for years, but this is the first time where people are...
It's Pokemon.
Yeah. It's just
I didn't know I know Pokemon was popular in the States, but I didn't know it was like...
I don't think anyone knew it was going to be this popular, David.
Well, that's the thing. It's weird. And here's the funny part. It's kind of a mirror for a lot of people because there's some people that are your friends that you didn't know that they liked Pokemon, and they're like I say a name wrong, and they're like, no, it said, and I'm like, you like Pokemon.
Crap. I've been had.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's like your inner nerd that you were hiding for the last, 10, 15 years finally popped out, and you're like, oh, wait. Anyways, so anything else? You said DMV. I want to talk about this.
DMV.
Do you like the DMV?
Absolutely not. No one likes. Who likes the DMV?
Well, here's the thing about the DMV. Like, it's the same. We used to work in cell phones, right, together. And I always had this problem with like people who would get on a phone call with like any kind of customer service. It's like, just expect it's gonna suck and it's gonna take a long time. Like, find something else to do that you could do while you're on the phone or whatever, and then pause it, or like watch a movie and like pause it when they pick up. But people are like, the second they call, they're just like, this better be the fastest interaction. I'm like, this is gonna take forever. So I just my expectation when I go to the DMV is like, it's gonna suck, it's gonna take forever. And the best part about it now is we have like things like Pokemon and books and things you can bring.
First of all, make a freaking appointment. Like, obviously here in Nevada, here in Vegas anyway, in the state of Nevada, you can make appointments. I really hope every state is like this because you can go there. We were there for less than 45 minutes. And we had all of our paperwork together. That's important. Print out the form before you go and fill it in.
Fill out this form.
Exactly. I felt like the sloth from Zootopia.
Yeah, exactly.
But the lady we were dealing with, like, when you get to the counter, right?
Yeah.
DMV people, not a lot of people like their job.
Now serving 633.
They do the last 4 digits of your phone number now. So like 3323 at counter number 30. No, but anyway, so like first thing you just sit down, right? DMV worker probably doesn't like their job. No one does. How could you?
Yeah.
Be super nice.
Yeah.
The lady we were with, as soon as I was like, "How was your day?" She was like, "My day's it's long, but it's good."
She's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, it almost looks. It's almost like she was taken back a little, and she was like super cool. Apparently, they were given 11-hour shifts and no overtime at the DMV.
Yikes.
But she was super nice, and it definitely made the interaction a lot easier.
Right.
And it's got to be easier on her. And we were chatting about, we were looking at the list of all the personalized plates and which ones were super ugly. She was like, "Oh my god, it was so ugly." I don't know why people get that.
They've gotten a little carried away with the personalized.
There's like 20 different personalized.
I know,
plates.
and it's like I understand it's a revenue source for the state, but it's just like some of them, especially here in Nevada, I'm like,
there's one for autonomous vehicles now.
But
anyway, so chat up your DMV rep. Be
go.
nice. Make an appointment. Get all your paperwork together.
See, I went to college in Reno, and they had a quick DMV, which was like, I don't know why every state doesn't have this. So like you have if you're going to take a driving test, if you're going to think of the equivalent I would give it would be like a Walmart and then like a Walmart marketplace. Like it's not a full Walmart, but it has like groceries.
Okay.
So this quick DMV, you can't do driving tests, you can't do like written tests. It's just like the garbage stuff, like
renewals, license plates.
Yeah, and it's like you're in there 15 minutes,
nice.
And there's like 10 seats because it's like people walk in and they're like, take a number. And it's like, okay, we're ready for you. It's like, what? Wait, what? And I just don't understand why more states don't do. Maybe they do. I've only gone to the DMV, fortunately, a few times here in Nevada.
But we were waiting in the appointment line, and this lady who was late to her appointment is getting all mad at the guy because she was late to her appointment.
No, I get that.
And she's, I was here last week, and they told me I had to come in, and now I have to do blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's squeaky wheel. I mean, it's the same problem that I always have with like people who complain at restaurants. They get their stuff comped. But if you walk in and you're very pleasant and you're very enjoyable and you're nice to the server and you compliment the people on the food, they're never like, you know what? It's on us. That never happens.
Of course not.
Right. And that would, and like I know, not friend, but I have like acquaintances that I know that are like, oh, we know if we go to this restaurant and we say X, Y, and Z, free. And I'm like, you're terrible. Like, what's wrong with you? But
this DMV worker was not having any of her crap because she was just like, so are you telling me I got to come back and do this, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, yep, you are correct. Next person, please.
Yeah.
I think be nice, people. Come on now.
Did you pick up any Pokemon while you were at the DMV?
Yeah, like 5 popped up. Like I said,
That's
very
awesome.
high. Walmarts are actually a lot of good Pokemon at Walmarts too.
Very
just
cool.
heavy populated areas. But I think that's it, David. What you doing?
A couple things. So a couple weeks ago we talked about the Steam Summer Sale. I am making an effort to get through the games that I actually bought.